If you are under the age of 18 and are watching this video, please stop now. This content was not intended for you. Hey everybody, it's TMIKA and I am here with another Creative FABRICA Friday that is not on a Friday. Per your request, I am doing a process video or process tutorial on how I design, create, print, and put together my digital cards using Creative FABRICA files. So in the previous Creative FABRICA Friday, I said that if you guys wanted to know how I made those cute little like a boss cards, and you know how I just put the thing together, really very simple. So I said if you wanted to the tutorial that I would do it if I got 100 likes. You guys came through and here we go. So I wanted to just set the tone and let you know that I am using Silhouette Studio software. I have the business edition, but if you're a Cricut user, some of these items may be familiar to you, so try to conjugate them into your own terms, so you can see how I put these together. Super easy. So hopefully you guys will be able to get as much information as I'm giving to the Silhouette Studio software users. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and put these cards together. I see that you can see there's streaks in my brown girls. That's because I'm running low ink and I've been printing digital files like crazy. So I use it to the end. Literally, when my prints come out gray or Casper-ish, that's when I change my ink cartridges. So these came out a little streaky, so I did go ahead and order some more ink cartridges from my printer, but they're usable because once I get done, you're not even gonna see that. All right, let's get started with the tutorial. All right, you want to start out by going to the Creative FABRICA website, creativefabrica.com, and we're going to start from scratch based on like an idea you have that you want for your digital downloads. If you don't have a Creative FABRICA account and you want to start, I have a promo going on right now where if you click the link down below in the description box, you'll get unlimited access to fonts and designs for just $1. There are over 4 million fonts, designs, SVG, printable, illustration, sublimation, embroidery classes, all the things that you can find for your digital software, for cutting, all that kind of stuff, you'll be able to find at Creative FABRICA, fonts, all that. So if you want to try, you're not sure if you want to stay, go ahead and click the link down below, and it's a referral link, so I get a couple cents for you guys clicking that, and you will get access to everything from top to bottom for just $1. So go ahead and click that down below. Now, heading back to the website, go ahead and we're going to do another card similar to the one that I created on the previous video. So I'm just going to type in "Hey Girl" because you know I love saying my "Hey Girl, hey." So I'm going to type in "Hey Girl" and see if there are any phrases or any little sayings that I want to use on my card. There are a lot of "Hey Girl" fonts, and I'm like, oh, I got to come back and get some of this and put this in my account. But I did see this SVG that said "Hey Baby Girl," and I love the font. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. They do have it in different PNG, SVG, you know, all that AI, EPS available for you to get that. I just go ahead and click the download button. It goes directly to my download folder, and I delete anything that I don't need. I don't use the EPS or the AI, so I throw that away. I also throw away like the JPEG, so I keep the PNG and the SVG. So I will go ahead and pull up my Silhouette Studio software. I'm using a portrait mat, and I'll slide that SVG right on over onto my Silhouette Studio. That's it. That's how easy it is. So before I forget, things go in my download folder and I have no idea what's there, and I don't like it being all junky. So I go ahead and create a new folder on my desktop, and I label it, and this is going to be titled "Hey Girl." I'll drag my SVG and my PNGs into that folder, and then both of those, and then I take that folder and put it into my terabyte under my subfolder of Creative FABRICA. Load that in there, clean it up, arrange by name, and I'm done. Like, it's off my desktop, it's out of my downloads, and it's organized in my Creative FABRICA folder. So going back to this SVG that I just merged onto the software, I'm just separating everything. You can see that I ungrouped it, and boom, everything just comes apart easily. You can use what you want, keep all that stuff. So I also wanted to share with you, you can change like the colors by going over to the right color panel. You can change those hearts, you can change the sizing, all that stuff to whatever you like when you do it this way. So I cut out that baby because I didn't need it, and I'm gonna go ahead and draw a rectangle, which is the size of my the size of my card, and I'm just gonna outline it in black, and so I can see it. I'll change it in a second because you won't be able to see it later, but I did 4¼ by 5½. That's the measurements that I did my card to, because that's what I want my card size to be. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that in, make sure that that's what I want. And come on, girl, you was taking too long to lock that number in. There we go. So I'm going to put that on my mat. And then I'm going to eventually resize this Hey Girl. I'm trying to put it all together so I can make a, a smaller little section there, fit everything on the screen. And then I just size it down, group everything together, or highlight everything together, and then just size it down so it can fit on my card. My mat is pushed way back, so that's why everything looks small. So that's me turning my card background into white so we can all see it. I'm grouping all of those things together so I can keep them where they are and get it sized accordingly. I'm going to bring it to the front so that I can see it. All right, and I'm just doing some placement so I can know that's where I want my Hey Girl to go. And then I decide, oh, I want it to go landscape instead of portrait style. So I just turn my card 90 degrees clockwise. And I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied with the size of this Hey Girl. Now I'm going to go over to my folder and pick out a background for my card. I'll have all of the items that I used in the description box from Creative Fabrica down below. That's what you're familiar with, that stripe and gold, which is what I did with the Girl Boss cards. So I'm going to use this pretty pattern right here with the little drips, the little paint splatters. So I'm just going to take that pattern. I'm going to go back to my studio software. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. Once you duplicate it, I'm going to turn it the long way so it's standing up, portrait, and highlight it. Grab your photo that you want. Just make sure that they layer it on top so you can grab right, and it'll dump right on top of that and crop it itself into the size card that you made. So that's how it looks, already ready for you. I'm just enlarging it so you guys can see what it looks like from the 4x6 in the portrait view. Another way you can do that is just drag it straight onto your software. Just drag the photo on there, resize it to the size that you want, and that's what I did. Then you go over to your left panel and draw another shape of rectangle. And let's say you want this to be I think I put 4x4. Let me see, I'm squeezing looking at this tiny thing myself. 3x4. Say if you want an ATC size. So I made my rectangle 3x4. I'm changing it to black, and I put it on top of that photo that I just drug in directly from my Creative Fabrica folder. I'm just making it white so you guys can see what I'm doing. I lay it where I want it to lay, highlight everything, and then go over to the right hand side and scroll all the way down to this modify. It looks like a square with a circle cut out, and hit crop. Then that will crop it to the size that you want. So either way works, however you want to do it, whichever's easiest for you, whichever's fastest for you. And sometimes this way works if you want to place it exactly like in the juicy part of something. So I'm going to delete one of these because I don't need it. So I'm just going to delete the one on the left and grab this one. And I decide that I want my cards to go landscape. So I'm like, well, this isn't going to look right because all the little paints is at the bottom, and the Hey Girl Hey is going to look odd, or the Hey Girl is going to look odd. So, excuse me. So I decided that I wanted to go landscape, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm just ungrouping this file to be prepared to put it on top of this card. So I take my landscape piece right here, which is 4x6, and I merge in the picture once again, or the background once again, and I just rotate it to clockwise so that it'll be 4x6 on the with the paint at the bottom, and I delete the portrait one. So now I'm going to grab the Hey Girl or the sentiment or whatever. You can even type in your sentiment. You don't have to use this. You can literally just write in what you want. I just wanted to use one of the files that was there and show you guys how to drag it in and all that. I put my Hey Girl on the mat. I always see if I'm going to send it, if it's any other extra outlines, anything I need to delete or anything like that. And then I'm just going to put them together, line them up, make sure everything's straight. And then I'm going to I'm going to make sure the spacing is correct. And I am going to make it a path. So a compound path. And that's going to put it all together. And I'm going to fill it in with the black again so we can all see it. It makes it one unit, like almost like you're grouping it together. But when you make a compound path, you're able to do an offset in one smooth motion. So what you see me here doing is I first wanted to just have a tiny little offset. So I did a small one. I think I have it at 0.050. And I want to show you this. I left this in so you can see. So I hit apply because it's too tiny. I hit apply and I'm going to take the Hey Girl off and you're going to see it's not, they're not touching. So you'll have two separate pieces, which is fine if that's what you want. I want one long background piece. So I'm like, nope, I don't want that. Delete that. And I'm going to put my Hey Girl back. I'm going to re-highlight it and make an offset. But this time I'm going to keep it at the normal suggestion, which is 0.125. I'm like, okay, I'll leave it like that. Everything is kind of touching. I will move my Hey Girl out the way. I'll click the offset, release the compound path, move the big piece out of the way, and trash all those little bits we don't want. I want it one solid background piece. And then I'll bring it both together, make sure that they are even with each other. But first, I'm going to remove this line and make it white. So make everything white, make the line white. So it's just a clear background where you can just see the Hey Girl just like that. Group everything together and we're good to go on that. I do want to make sure that everything is lined. So go over here and make sure your words are all lined up. I do get a little help from the silhouette for that. So bringing my card back in, I'm going to place my Hey Girl where I want it. And I'm like, okay, that is so cute. It's sitting right center. I could make it a little smaller, but Hey Girl is loud, it's boisterous. So I'm like, okay, I need to see if I need to use these little bits. I enlarge the hearts, put it on there like, too much. Delete all that. I don't need it. Thank you very much for your services. Goodbye. So I'm going to go back to this card. I'm like, I like it like this. Highlight everything, group it together. And of course, I like to center and make sure. But when I highlight all of this and I move my center, it took that Hey Girl because it's separate and lined it from the bottom, which is what I told it to do. And then I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to see how it looks center. Nope, I don't like it above it. So I'm just going to put it right back how I had it, right dead center in the middle of those painty drips. Leave it like it is and be done with the whole centering situation. Group everything all together so it's just one piece. And then I'm going to duplicate these so that they can get printed. And I like to maximize the amount of items I can use on my print paper. So if I needed to shrink these down a smidge, I would have, but I left them as is. They are full size cards, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I just turned them clockwise so I can get 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Make sure you turn on your printer border so you can know what you can print, which is different from what you can cut. The lines are a little bit different from each other. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that. And I get 4 on one. Boom. Send it to the printer. Make sure my settings are where they need to be. I maximize it out on my color choices and make sure my printer is selected. Go ahead and print that off. I printed mine on the brochure paper that I've told you guys about. Nice and shiny, beautiful output. I'll have it linked down below. Then I want to share with you guys, oh, look, let's put a girl on it, just like I did the other one. So I go through all of my brown girls and see which one brings the sass with the Hey Girl. So I'm like, oh, I like her. She's cute. So I put her off to the side. And I'm like, there's another one that I like. So I'll go to another folder and find what I want. You can put whatever you want. You can put donuts over there if you want to. Whatever image that you want. Like, the possibilities are so endless. So as I'm scrolling through, I'm trying to find where this girl is. There she is right there with her hands on her hips. I'm just going to literally drag her photo off to the side. into the software. Boom, there she is. Now it's large when it comes into the software, so you want to go ahead and downsize it. So I click on the girls individually. I lock, oh my darn it. I lock the sizing and I just press 5. That's my normal thing. I just put a number in there to make sure they shrink down. I can get it better later. I just don't want them ginormous where I can't handle what's going on. So I'm like, I'm trying to decide on which one I want. So I'm going to duplicate this card and see what I want to do. I just want to make sure everything is grouped separately. So I just make sure the Hey Girl was grouped and the card was grouped, because I have to separate them now to put the girls on there. So I shrunk my little girl down. I'm like, I want them on the left-hand side. They're all in one piece. So there are some files that are in different pieces where you can have different hairs, different clothes, different mix and match. But these girls in particular, and I had them in the last video, links are one piece. So I'm like, okay, good. I just downsize it. Ooh, she tiny, but I didn't want her that little. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this card now and then put her on her own card to see how she stands up by herself. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, let's resize her. She wasn't giving me the Hey Girl vibe. She was giving me like little sister Colette. So I was like, okay, there's nothing that I can do with you right now. She doesn't look sassy enough. So I'm like, okay, just highlight everything over there on that side. Compare the two. Nope, she's not working over there. I am going to delete her. But over here, I'm like, she's going to work. I'm going to resize her a little bit. Just adjust to what you want and put her, put her where you want her to go. Or whatever object you have over there. So I'm going to delete little Colette. She's just not working for me. There you go. Bye, girl. So, there we go. She's how I want. She got a little hands on her hips. She's like, hey girl, what's up? Let's meet for lunch. And then I'm gonna put the Hey Girl right there. Boom. So cool thing about when you're doing SVGs and things like this is you can change the colors, and you can pick colors out of the project that you're working with to match. So I'm gonna go to my color panel, stick my little dropper and highlight over that pink that's already there. Then I'm gonna highlight over the gold that's already there. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this, but like, man, it's too much gold, and my printer don't be printing the gold. It's not gonna look this mustard color. It's gonna be like a yellow. So I was like, no, I'm gonna go back to the pink, but then that's just too much pink. So I'm gonna change on my left hand panel over here. I'm gonna change my Hey Girl to white with no background and see if she pops. I like it, but it's still giving me Pepto-Bismol. So I'm taking that pink out and I'm gonna change it. Get my eyedropper again and change it to another color. I'm going to downsize that one. Maybe I need to downsize it a little bit. It's just too much pink. It's not, yeah, I'm just not going to change it. But just play around with your settings. I like how this gold, this yellowy looks. So like, okay, I can deal with that. However my printer prints it out, this color is what it is. So that's what I do, and I'm just going to group everything together. That's what I decide to keep. Hey Girl, boom, we're done. And then I'm going to print these off the same way that I did the other ones without the image. So just make sure you group everything together, because that is the best thing. When you move your card and everything starts shifting around, all your hard work of this foolery of going back and forth with the colors and getting it all just right, and you didn't moved it, kind of makes you a little upset. So just, yeah, go ahead and print 4 of these off on this 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and we're good to go. So I'm going to move over, once these are printed, I'm going to move over to showing you how I just put these together really, really quickly. I send these in packages, I swaps, racks. Do what you want with this. You can just send them in like a little, hey girl, how you doing? Look, postcard. Is very, very easy. Now mine's, I just put 110-pound weight cardstock on the back. Boom and done. But you can definitely fold these over so that it could be like an open card or flip up card or that kind of thing. But I literally just have it where it's a sheet of paper, a heavy sheet of paper on the back. So let me print this off and show you what I did here. So yeah, let's move that eucalyptus candle because we don't want none of this paper burning. So I got my little trimmer out. I trim everything down, and I did both of the girls. You can see here, just want to show you an example of how both of them will look and how that gold kind of came out. So I'm going to grab some of this sequin and just cut off a piece for each, because I always mix mine into shakers. Sometimes I use sequin, sometimes I use acetate. Most times I use acetate, but the sequin, this sequin was a little heavy. So but anyway, I did some stitching around the edges, clean up all that extra, not sequin, tulle, clean up all that extra tulle all around the edges. I stitched it all together with some black thread. Look at the shakers, they look so cute. I add some double-sided tape to the back of these, and then I'm going to put them on the 120-pound weight cardstock once I'm done. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, put it down below. I'm going to let this play out, because after this is over, there's not that much time left. I'm recording and stop. So if you have any questions about how things went, if you want, you know, some more details, let me know down below. I'll try to answer them in written form the best I can. If you want more tutorials on the silhouette, let me know as well. Leave those down below. I can try to get those out for you guys, those who have this software. So if you could take a moment and like this video, that will be so helpful for me. And let me know what you guys think. Everything that I use in this video for Creative Fabrica will be in the description box. Don't forget, you still have an opportunity to get a month subscription for $1. So be sure to check out all the other videos that I've done for Creative Fabrica and get your ideas, get your downloads, and get your crafting on. All right? So don't forget to hit that like button, leave the comment, let me know what you think, and I shall talk to you guys later. Bye.